What's going on, guys? So I put together a week's worth of bench press training. That's the bench press along with the accessories to help bring up the bench press. Now, like I talked about in the previous video, the way I choose my accessories for a lift is I'm looking for exercises that'll help strengthen my weak points in the main lift. For the bench press, my weak point is the lockout or the last 3 inches. The muscles that come into play there are the triceps. So that's why I'm picking accessory lifts to help target the triceps. Now, this is hypertrophy training for powerlifting that I'm doing right now. I'm in what's called a hypertrophy block. That means right now what I'm concerned with is growing muscle to help assist with the main lifts in powerlifting. Now, it's been shown that the main driver of muscle growth is total volume performed. That means in order to grow bigger muscles, you got to do more work. The easiest way to get that done is to add more reps to a set. That's why I'll be doing sets of 10s on the main lifts and the secondary lifts, and sets of 12 to 15 on the tertiary lifts or the third lifts or the pump and fluff stuff. All right, well, let's get to it. Any questions, comment below.
Targeted. Another family, yeah, it happened in Mexico between right in the middle of Lightning Brook. And there was some massacres in different locations, and it happened to be the same family. So now they're thinking it may have been retaliation for the war. They're not sure. They're not sure it was actually white skin. Because it happened in separate locations where execution style murder. It may have been just retaliation. I hope the Mexican government. And all he had to do was promise to make no order by God. Me too. And he was fucking
This right here, the lion tricep extension, is the exercise I'm most likely to skip because this is a third lift, a tertiary lift, kind of considered like the pump and fluff stuff, but this is not easy. First of all, just setting it up takes a minute, but then it's a tough lift, man. But there's a video on how to perform this lift by Mark Ripito, and he says one of the coaches that he respected called this the fourth power lift. Right after squat, bench, and deadlift, this was the next lift down the line. This is great for building the triceps. So if you're trying to build up your triceps, this is something you don't want to skip out on. Most people do these like a skull crusher, and they'll stop right here. But the thing is, the tricep doesn't just extend the elbow, it also extends the shoulder. So when we get the full stretch down here, we're working the long head of the tricep as well as the lateral head of the tricep. I need 10 of these. 4. Alright, got the first working set in the books. It was supposed to start off with an RPE 10 for 10 reps. So I feel like that's where I was at, 309 pounds. Now before I was doing 315 for 10 reps easy, but the difference is I was pumping it at the top like I talked about in a bunch of my videos. My weak point is the last 3 inches, the lockout. So I started thinking, as I was watching myself on video, if I'm trying to build up my lockout, why am I just spending the least amount of time possible at the lockout? I'm barely locking out the elbows. So now I'm trying to accentuate that, trying to really hold it at the top. Like how at the bottom I try to get a brief pause, at the top I try to get a brief pause also now. So that's why I had to take the weight down a little bit, but I'd rather bring the weight down and really work the muscles. All right, I gotta put it in the spreadsheet to see what's up next, but it's gonna be 5 more sets of 10. Volume, building a bigger chest. Volume on top of volume, top of volume is gonna add muscle to your frame. Let's go.
Do baby. You know, I was just thinking about you. You know, I'm glad you called. So you coming right over? Beautiful, baby. I'll be waiting. I love you too. You're all I need in my life. I don't need no one. I don't need no one but you. You're all I need in my life. I don't need no one. I don't need no one but you. Only you can make me Paradise life, relaxing, black, Latino, and Anglo-Saxon. I'm on the exchange, the range, cast, lost tribes and bass, free at last, brand new whips to crash, then we laugh in the illa path. The villa houses for the crew, how we do, trees for breakfast, dime sexes and bench stretches. So many years of depression make me vision the better living, type of place to raise kids in, opening eyes to the lies, history's told foul, but I'm as wise as the old owl, plus the gold child, seeing things like I was controlling, click rolling, tricking 6 digits on kicks and still holding, trips to Paris, I civilize every savage, give me one shot, I turn trite life to lavish, political prisoner, set free, stress free, no work release, purple and threes and jet skis, feel the wind breeze and west.
Don't fail. You're not even trying. I'll say it again. If you don't fail, you're not even trying. To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did. So imagine you're on your deathbed and standing around your deathbed are the ghosts representing your unfulfilled potential. The ghosts of the ideas you never acted on. The ghosts of the talents you didn't use. And they're standing around the door.
Holy crap.
First step before anybody
everybody out there in the world believes in this, you have to believe it. There's no reason to have a plan B that distracts the plan A. Psychologically, the advantage that
Lightweight.
Really changed the meaning of my life in that I was no longer driven by what other people wanted me to do, but took charge of my own destiny, making choices based upon what do I feel is the next right thing for myself. I know this is going to sound strange to you. I read the book. I got so many copies of that book. I passed the book around to everybody I knew. If I was on the bus, I'd pass it out to people. And when I heard that there was going to be a movie, I started talking it up for myself. I didn't know Quincy Jones or Steven Spielberg or how on earth I would get in this movie.
Oh boy.